Welcome, and thank you for joining us for the Port of Brownsville State of the Port as we celebrate a remarkable milestone, 90 years of service, growth, and progress. My name is Jorge Montero, Director of Communications for the Port, and I'm honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies today. As we mark this anniversary, we recognize the generations of visionaries, workers, business leaders, public servants, customers, tenants, and community partners whose dedication and leadership helped build and strengthen this port over the last 9 decades. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the leadership guiding our port forward today. Our esteemed commissioners of the Brownsville Navigation District, please join me in acknowledging them. Vice Chairman Ernesto Gutierrez, Board Secretary John Reed, Commissioner David Garcia, and Commissioner Luis Villarreal. While Chairman Sergio Tito Lopez is unable to join us today, he sends his regards and thanks each one of you for your support. At this time, I ask that you please stand as I invite Reverend Andreas Lewis of the International Seafarer Center to lead us in prayer.
Thank you. Most gracious Heavenly Father, as we gather for our annual State of the Port luncheon, we remember the words of the psalmist. How blessed is the man who does not walk in the counsel of the wicked, nor stand in the path of sinners, nor sit in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. He will be like a tree firmly planted by channels of water, which yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither, and whatever he does, he prospers. This is the 90th year of the life of the Port of Brownsville, born from the Great Depression in 1936. Those who celebrated its opening that May could not have imagined that today this 17-mile channel dug from the brush flats of South Texas would become a highway to the world, from whose banks the best shrimp would be harvested, rockets would fly into space, ships would be built, liquid cargoes would supply nations, while imports supply electricity, build our roads, and supply the steel plants of northern Mexico. We have much to be grateful for, or as the psalmist says, how blessed are the people who walk with you. They and their ventures are like strong trees firmly planted by this channel of water, who yield their fruit in due season. Their leaf does not wither, but they continue to prosper. As we today celebrate the many achievements of the Port of Brownsville and rejoice in all who have worked so diligently, patiently, and skillfully over the generations to bring us to our 90th year, above all, we thank you, our Lord, who have kept us and led us on this journey. And in our gratitude, we pray that we may ever walk with you in such a way that our lives and the work we do would prosper under the blessing of your almighty hand. Now may our food and fellowship be blessed through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please remain standing as we welcome the Port of Brownsville Honor Guard for the presentation of the colors, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
March time, march. Halt. Left face. Honor guard, present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor guard, order arms. Post.
Thank you, everyone. Please take your seat. Before we continue with today's program, I would like to recognize and introduce the local elected officials and distinguished guests joining us today. Please stand to be recognized. From Senator Cornyn's office, Vivian Sepulveda. Thank you for being here with us. From Senator Ted Cruz's office, Joshua Rojas. Representing Congressman Vicente Gonzalez is Victor Garza. Apologies. From Senator Adam Hinojosa's office, Sig Silva and Brenda Watson. From Representative Janie Lopez's office, Eloisa Medrano. We also have Georgette Betancourt, representing Representative Aaron Gamis. Also joining us today is Cedar Brownsville Commissioner, Mr. Pedro Cardenas. Mr. Javier Vera, Mayor Pro Tem of the town of Rancho Viejo. And former Navigation District Chairman, Mr. Esteban Guerra. Thank you for being here with us. Your partnership is instrumental in driving the momentum we're building at the port. With that spirit of collaboration in mind, it is especially meaningful to receive recognition from leaders who understand the important role our port plays in supporting trade, industry, national security, and economic growth. Today, we are honored to share a special message from Senator John Cornyn, who has long recognized the value of America's port and the importance of investing in critical maritime infrastructure. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Vivian Sepulveda, Senator Cornyn's South Texas El Paso Deputy Regional Director, who will present the Senator's message commemorating this important milestone.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today as we celebrate the Port of Brownsville and its continued impact on South Texas and our nation. On behalf of Senator John Cornyn, it is my pleasure to be here today, and the Senator has asked that I share the following message with you. Dear friends, I extend my appreciation to the Port of Brownsville for continuing its significant contributions to economic development in the Rio Grande Valley, Texas, and our nation. The Port of Brownsville is one of the Gulf Coast's most strategic deep water ports and serves as a critical gateway for international trade, energy production, manufacturing, and transportation. The port's commitment to innovation and growth has strengthened South Texas's position as a global leader in commerce, creating opportunities for businesses and families across the region. The Port of Brownsville's infrastructure, modernization, and economic development investments have attracted significant private sector funding, supported job creation, and reinforced the region's role in supporting America's energy and manufacturing dominance. These efforts ensure the port will remain a powerful engine for economic growth and competitiveness. As the port celebrates its 90th anniversary, I want to recognize Chairman Sergio Lopez, Vice Chairman Ernesto Gutierrez, Secretary of the Board John Reed, and newly elected Commissioners Luis Villarreal and David Garcia for their dedication to advancing the port's mission. I also want to extend my gratitude to Port Director and CEO William Dietrich for his leadership. As your U.S. Senator, I remain committed to supporting the Port of Brownsville and its efforts to strengthen our economy, expand opportunities for South Texas families, and secure a prosperous future for generations to come. Congratulations on 90 years of service, growth, and achievement. May God bless you, the Rio Grande Valley, and the great state of Texas. Sincerely, United States Senator John Cornyn. Thank you.
At this time, Mr. Vice Chairman and Mr. Dietrich, if you can join us for a quick photo right here on the stage, as well as the rest of our members of the commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sepulveda. Now, please welcome Victor Garza, Senior Outreach Coordinator from the Office of Congressman Vicente Gonzalez, for a special message on behalf of the Congressman.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much to the Port of Brownsville for having us here today. Unfortunately, Congressman could not be here today. However, he did ask me to read a letter on his behalf, congratulating the Port and everybody here for their wonderful success this year and for the last 90 years. Congratulations on another successful year for the Port of Brownsville. Under the leadership of the entire Commission, the Port has experienced unprecedented growth and has achieved great strides towards increasing economic development in the region. As a congressman for the 34th Congressional District of Texas, it is my mission to ensure that institutions like the Port of Brownsville have the resources to provide essential services to the communities that they serve. Projects ranging from the expansion of the maritime enforcement and emergency response capabilities to securing billions in private investments, the Port has demonstrated its commitment to advancing to the top. Congratulations again on another prosperous year. Sincerely, Vicente Gonzalez, Member of Congress.
Thank you, Mr. Garza. We extend our sincere appreciation to Senator John Cornyn and Congressman Vicente Gonzalez for joining us in celebrating this historic occasion, and for their continued support of the Port of Brownsville and the communities we serve. We'll continue with today's program shortly. In the meantime, please enjoy your meal. Everyone, I hope y'all are enjoying your meal. Before we proceed to discuss cargo volumes, infrastructure projects, and future investments, it is worth taking a moment to remember how this story began. The Port of Brownsville's history is ultimately a story about people. People who saw potential where others saw challenges. People who invested in this community, and people who worked tirelessly to build something that would serve generations to come. To share that story and connect it to the opportunities before us today, please welcome Port Director and CEO, William Dietrich.
Thank you, Jorge, for your kind introduction. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our annual State of the Port. We got a pretty good crowd. Today. Usually, yeah, it's about the same, but it seems to be growing. But that makes us very happy. The port community is growing, and when the port community grows, we all grow. 90 years ago, the people of this community made a decision that changed everything. It was in 1928 the Rio Grande Valley was still largely an agricultural economy, cotton fields, citrus groves, hard land, worked by hard people, and a group of citizens led by a commercial fisherman named Luis Cobellini. Looked at the stretch of South Texas coastline and saw something different. They saw a port. They convinced the Army Corps of Engineers that a deep water port here was not only practical, it was essential. And in December of 1928, the voters of Brownsville approved the creation of the Navigation District and committed $2 million in bonds to make it real. That was not a routine vote. That was an act of belief in the future of this region. The Brownsville Ship Channel was built during the Great Depression, connecting the Rio Grande Valley to the Gulf of Mexico and laying the foundation for decades of growth and industrial growth. And on May 16, 1936, the Port of Brownsville officially opened for business. Think about that, what this region looked like back then. The earliest cargo moving through our port was cotton, grain, shrimp, products of a region built on agriculture, fishing, and determination. Farmers and fishermen used this port as their connection to the world, turning local labor into global commerce. And the work, honest, essentials, relentless, set standard that still defines the port today. What the change is scale and sophistication from its earliest role as the #1 cotton exporter in the nation and the shrimping capital of the world. The Port of Brownsville has grown into a diversified logistics hub, international hub, supporting steel, energy, construction, aerospace, and more. It is now home to one of the most important ship recycling and shipyard operations in the United States. And today, the same waterway that once carried cotton, grain, connects the global markets, global energy markets, including liquefied natural gas and emerging industrial trade. But even as cargo has changed, one thing that has not, and that's the people of the Port of Brownsville. And this entire region has remained skilled, resilient, and determined to build something better for the next generation. Today, that same spirit is not something we look back on, it is something that we continue to build on. We see it through the strength of our operations. We see it in the new industrial activity, choosing to invest here. We see it in the infrastructure being expanded and modernized to meet global demand. And we see it in the partnerships that continue to shape the future of the port and this region. These are not abstract plans or distant goals. These are real accomplishments happening now and positioning the port for its next chapter of growth. 90 years ago, a fisherman with a vision, a community with courage built something from nothing on the southernmost tip of Texas. They didn't wait for opportunity, they created it, dredging a channel to meet the world on their own terms. That is the DNA of this port, and that is the story of this region. And it is the foundation of everything you will hear today. As we move through our State of the Port, our performance for fiscal year 2025, our new business growth, our infrastructure, investments, our commitment to workforce and development and stewardship will all be brought together in today's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dietrich. The board's history is one of perseverance, innovation, and growth. But as we all know, history is not something we simply celebrate. It is something we build upon. To discuss the progress being made today and the opportunities ahead, it is my pleasure to introduce Brownsville Navigation District Vice Chairman Ernesto Gutierrez.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor to stand before you as Vice Chairman of the Brownsville Navigation District, representing our port, our community, and a future that I am deeply proud of. The significance of the Port of Brownsville extends far beyond our harbor. Its impact reaches across the Rio Grande Valley, throughout Texas, and increasingly across the nation. As the only deep water seaport on the U.S.-Mexico border, our port remains a vital engine for trade and economic growth. In fiscal year 2025, the port moved 28 million tons of cargo, matching the record-setting volume achieved the previous year. Even more impressive, cargo volumes have increased by more than 101% since 2021, growing from 13.9 million tons to 28 million tons in just 5 years. This activity was driven by 17.4 million tons of liquid bulk cargo, 12 million tons of break bulk cargo, and nearly 858,000 tons of dry bulk cargo. But numbers alone don't move cargo. People do. Behind every ton of cargo is a team of professionals who keep this port moving. I want to recognize our stevedoring companies, the men and women on the waterfront who move cargo with precision and professionalism every day. Equally essential are the line handlers, tugboat operators, and the Brazos Santiago pilots, who work together to safely bring vessels into port, berth them, and send them on their way, often working around the clock and in challenging conditions. Their coordination, expertise, and commitment to safety keep vessel traffic moving efficiently and commerce flowing without interruption. For Texas, the impact of this port extends far beyond our waterfront. According to the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts, the Port of Brownsville generated $22.7 billion in direct trade and contributed $11.9 billion to the Texas gross domestic product in 2024. The Comptroller's office came to our front door to deliver this finding. The acting Comptroller, Kelly Hancock, said it plainly. The Port of Brownsville isn't just moving cargo, it's moving opportunity for South Texas. We could not agree more. Trade through this port supports over 101,000 jobs across the state of Texas, more than 14,000 of them right here in the Rio Grande Valley. Those results are reflected in the port's continued financial strength. In 2025, operating revenue reached $47.2 million, surpassing the $30 million mark for the 5th consecutive year. Those revenues allow us to reinvest in the infrastructure, facilities, and services for the long term. At a time when ports across the country experienced a decline in cargo volume, the Port of Brownsville moved in the opposite direction. Fiscal year 2025 marked the highest cargo volume year in history. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers ranked our port 41st among the nation's 150 maritime ports for waterborne cargo, our highest ranking to date. And our foreign trade zone, FTZ number 62, continues to rank among the top FTZs in the nation, accounting for more than $8 billion in combined value of imported and exported commodities. Behind those rankings is a logistics network built for scale. In 2025, this port logged 1,419 vessel calls, saw 450,000 truck movements, moved more than 12 million tons of commodities via pipeline, and handled essential cargo for diverse industries across North America. Our short line railroad, the Brownsville and Rio Grande International Railway, is now moving more than 80,000 loaded rail cars per year, with growth expected to continue in the coming years. Vessels, barges, trucks, rail, pipelines. Together, they form a fully integrated logistics gateway connecting South Texas to markets across North America and around the world. The numbers I have shared represent real families, real paychecks, and real opportunity in South Texas. But I want to leave you with something that speaks for the future, because the most exciting chapter of this port story is still being written. We currently have projects in our pipeline representing more than $30 billion, more than $30 billion in potential investment at this port, in Brownsville, in the Rio Grande Valley. These are projects in energy, advanced manufacturing, aerospace, defense, and critical supply chains, industries that are reshaping the American economy and choosing to do it here, on our waterfront, on our land, and through the Brownsville Ship Channel. As our port grows, our region grows. When this port leads, our community leads. The momentum is real. The investment is real. And the transformation of the Rio Grande Valley economy, driven by the strength, vision, and partnership that define this port, is well underway. The Port of Brownsville has never been more important to the future of our region, our state, and our nation. And with our support of our customers, tenants, partners, elected officials, and community, the best is yet to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. As the Port of Brownsville continues to strengthen its position as a leading center for trade, manufacturing, and energy development, we remain focused on certain priorities and opportunities that benefit both our economy and our environment. To present the Port's business development efforts, economic growth initiatives, and commitment to environmental stewardship, please join me in welcoming Secretary John Reed.
Good afternoon and welcome to the State of the Port. It is an honor to be here and have the opportunity to talk about our leading economic driver for the region, our Port of Brownsville, and what it means not only to the people in this room, but across the state and throughout our country. I've had the privilege of serving on the Board of Commissioners since 2008, including 2 terms as chairman of the Brownsville Navigation District. In all that time, I can tell you with complete confidence that the best days with this port are still ahead of us. The port is in the middle of one of the most exciting growth periods in its history. Most notably, our region is transforming into a key energy and defense hub for the nation. In March, we announced the America First Refining Project. This is a landmark development not only for our port, but for the United States energy landscape. It represents the first new oil refinery on the U.S. Gulf Coast in nearly half a century. At full capacity, it's expected to process up to 60 million barrels of domestic crude oil annually, strengthening America's energy independence and reducing reliance on foreign supply chain. It will produce gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel for both domestic and international markets. And it is a direct response for the growing need for secure, reliable, American-produced energy. With thousands of construction jobs and hundreds of permanent operational positions projected, this project is a generational investment in both energy security and regional prosperity. Rio Grande LNG, a $36 billion capital investment on 984 leased acres, is well underway. 5 of its 8 trains are currently under construction, and the facility is on track to begin exporting LNG in 2027. When complete, it will deliver enough energy to heat and cool the equivalent of more than 37 million U.S. households annually. Importantly, 73% of the more than 5,000 skilled workers on that site today are Rio Grande Valley residents. While these energy investments are reshaping our economic landscape, they are only part of the story. We're also seeing significant momentum in defense and advanced manufacturing projects that further strengthen our national strategic importance. Several key defense-related projects currently in development at the port represent a combined capital investment of approximately $14.5 billion and have the potential to create more than 20,000 jobs for our region. Perhaps the most transformative among them is Saronic. This project has the potential to position the Port of Brownsville as a national center for autonomous maritime technology and defense manufacturing. Saronic specializes in the development of advanced autonomous surface vessels designed to enhance national security and strengthen America's maritime capabilities. Beyond that significant capital investment, the project would create high-paying manufacturing, engineering, and technology jobs while helping establish South Texas as a leader in next-generation defense innovation. In addition to Saronic, 2 other major projects are actively progressing through the development pipeline. Together, these projects would further expand domestic manufacturing capacity, strengthen Americans' energy and defense supply chains, and reinforce our nation's ability to produce critical materials and technologies here at home. We are optimistic that we will be able to share more details about these opportunities in the near future. We're also seeing major momentum in industrial diversification beyond energy and defense. Force of Steel, using U.S. source material, represents exactly the type of nearshoring success story this port was built for, bringing high-quality manufacturing jobs closer to American markets and closer to our community. The company has invested more than $100 million in developing a 650,000 square foot facility along Highway 48, bringing more than 100 jobs to the port. We are excited to welcome Powership, a global leader in floating power plants and mobile energy solutions. Their decision to invest here is another signal that Brownsville is not just participating in the global energy transition, we're helping define it. Their presence brings a new dimension of innovation, flexibility, and energy infrastructure capability to our port, and reinforces our position as a hub for the next generation industrial development. And there's SpaceX. The presence of SpaceX at the Port of Brownsville continues to be a powerful economic catalyst. It has placed our region on the global map for aerospace, advanced manufacturing, and high technology investment. Each launch draws international attention to our coastline, our workforce, and our infrastructure. And we intend to continue building on that momentum by attracting suppliers, innovators, and industries that want to be part of that ecosystem. Individually, each of these investments command attention. Together, they represent nothing short of a transformation. From the space, energy, defense, manufacturing, shipbuilding industries, this port is attracting capital on a scale that is reshaping the economic landscape of South Texas. These combined investments totaled over $60 billion for the region. We also recognize that true economic leadership today requires balance. The B&D Commission and our staff are deeply committed to aligning industrial development with environmental stewardship. Through key initiatives like the Villa Grande Restoration Project, a 10,000-acre coastal ecosystem and wetlands complex, and the protection of the Las Lomas Preserve, which safeguards approximately 2,000 acres of ecological habitat within the port, we are actively restoring and preserving critical natural areas in the region. We have also incorporated perpetual conservation easements into major projects, including 1,500 acres for Rio Grande LNG and 43 acres for Texas LNG, ensuring that mitigation and conservation are permanently embedded into our industrial footprint. In addition, we are actively working to identify and preserve additional land that can serve as strategic buffer zones between industrial and residential development. To date, the Navigation District has acquired more than 500 acres for this purpose. This effort is about planning responsibly for future growth, ensuring that industrial expansion can continue while preserving opportunities for future residential, commercial, and community development for generations to come. Economic expansion and environmental responsibility are not competing priorities for us. They are shared obligations. Myself, alongside Vice Chairman Gutierrez, co-chair the Port's Power and Water Infrastructure Committee, where we are proactively addressing the long-term challenges and demands associated with industrial growth. One of our priorities has been ensuring adequate water supply for future development. That is why we have worked on an agreement with the Brownsville Irrigation District to secure 2,000 acre feet of water for industrial use, while also collaborating closely with the Brownsville Public Utilities Board to identify long-term solutions that meet future demand. We want our constituents to know that we're mindful of these challenges and actively planning today for the needs of future generations. The same is true for power infrastructure. The port is currently in negotiations with Synergia on a proposed 1.5 gigawatt natural gas power generational facility on approximately 350 acres of port property. This project would provide additional power reliability for industrial operations while helping support the growing energy needs of our surrounding communities. This growth is not accidental. It is a result of strategic investment, disciplined planning, and a long-term commitment by the Brownsville Navigation District Commissioners and port staff to diversify our industrial base while attracting high-quality employers that elevate wages, expand opportunity, and strengthen our regional economy. The port has always been a place where big visions become reality. As we celebrate 90 years and welcome new industries to our region, it's important that we also recognize the companies and individuals who have helped build the foundation of our success. Long before many of these new opportunities arrived, our existing tenants and industries were investing, creating jobs, and driving economic activity throughout our community. Many of these businesses, large and small alike, have played a vital role in the growth and success of this port. Their hard work, resilience, and commitment have made the Port of Brownsville what it is today. At this time, I would like to recognize those individuals representing the industries that serve as the backbone of our port. If you're involved in stevedoring operations, ship recycling, terminal operations, trucking and transportation, manufacturing, warehousing, and logistics, the shrimping industry, construction, line handlers, pilots, tugboat operations, or railroad operations, please stand and be recognized. You all started this port and continue the backbone of this port. To all of you, thank you for your contributions, your partnership, and your continued commitment to the success of the Port of Brownsville. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. The opportunities we create through business development require a strong foundation. That foundation is built through strategic investments in infrastructure that enhance safety, improve efficiency, and ensure the Port of Brownsville remains competitive in an increasingly global market. From modernizing cargo facilities and deepening our ship channel to expanding capacity for future growth, these investments are helping position the port for the next generation of commerce and industry. Please join me in welcoming Commissioner David Garcia, who will share updates on these transformative projects and the partnerships helping make them possible.
Thank you, Jorge. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure to stand before you today, having just joined last month the board and the commission. Thank you all for being here today. I have spent the better part of my career working to connect the Rio Grande Valley to the resources, partnerships, and federal relationships it deserves. What I have seen at the Port of Brownsville is truly inspiring. The momentum, the vision, and the progress underway positions our port for one of the most exciting periods of growth in its history. That progress is only possible because of strong partnerships. I want to recognize our federal partners, starting with Senator John Cornyn. Please relay our gratitude to him, Ms. Sepulveda. We thank him for his years of leadership and support and all the work he's done for us over the years. And of course, to Senator Ted Cruz, his leadership and commitment to South Texas continues. And to Congressman Vicente Gonzalez, thank you for all the work he's done in South Texas. As well as our state partners, Senator Adam Hinojosa, thank you for the continued work and commitment. Representative Janie Lopez and Representative Aaron Gomez for their continued support of the Port of Brownsville and the maritime industry. Their advocacy for port infrastructure, workforce development, trade competitiveness, and strategic initiatives has helped reinforce the port's role as a critical gateway for commerce between the United States and Mexico. They have helped ensure our region remains positioned for long-term success. Let me begin with what is without question one of the most significant infrastructure achievements in this port's history. Aside from a few final details, the Brazos Island Harbor Channel Improvement Project is complete. That was not a simple undertaking. It was a more than $500 million two-phase effort made possible through a landmark public-private partnership between the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the Port of Brownsville, and Next Decade, one of the first partnerships of its kind in American port infrastructure. And I also want to thank former Chairman Steve Guerra for the work in that project. He was very instrumental in that. The result is a 17-mile ship channel deepened to 52 feet, significantly expanding our capacity to accommodate larger vessels and compete more effectively in global commerce. Later this month, we will celebrate this achievement with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. It will be a moment worthy of everything this community has invested and everything that lies ahead. And make no mistake about what this accomplishment means. A deeper channel is a market signal. It tells energy companies, shipping firms, manufacturers, and investors that this port can handle business at scale, reliably, and strategically located on the U.S.-Mexico border. That competitive advantage will create jobs, attract investment, and strengthen our regional economy for decades to come. But while the channel may be the headline, it is not the whole story. Right now, the reconstruction of Cargo Dock 3 is underway. This $40 million project represents a major investment in one of the port's most critical cargo facilities. And I want to recognize that the Texas Department of Transportation Maritime Division, thank you for your support for making this project possible. Through this collaborative effort, we are modernizing infrastructure that will enhance safety, improve operational efficiency, and strengthen our ability to accommodate larger vessels entering our newly deepened channel. Most importantly, this project reflects a shared commitment to the long-term competitiveness of the Port of Brownsville and the continued economic growth of South Texas. Another important project moving forward in partnership with TxDOT and state leaders is the East Ostos Road Improvement Project. This initiative will rehabilitate approximately 2.7 miles of pavement and widen a 2.2-mile segment to improve traffic flow and safety. Ostos Road serves as a critical corridor along the south side of the ship channel, providing direct access to cargo docks while strengthening connectivity to the Southport Connector Road and State Highway 4. Our connectivity on land is what completes the supply chain at sea. These improvements ensure goods move more efficiently, safely, and reliably through our transportation network. And while these projects are transforming the port today, they are also laying the foundation for what comes next. East of the fishing harbor, on both the north and south sides of the ship channel, significant development opportunities are emerging. This area represents some of the most strategically positioned industrial property on the Gulf Coast. With deep water access, rail connectivity, proximity to international markets, and now our 52-foot deep ship channel, we are actively planning for the future of this corridor and its potential for advanced manufacturing, energy development, and maritime industry, all substantial for the Port of Brownsville. Every investment we make in the channel, the docks, the roads, strengthens our position in an increasingly competitive global marketplace. Companies making billion-dollar decisions on where to locate their operations look first at infrastructure, they look at access, they look at reliability, and increasingly they are looking at the Port of Brownsville. I have seen firsthand how infrastructure investment creates economic opportunity and how the lack of it can limit a region's potential. The Rio Grande Valley does not have a talent problem. It does not have a work ethic problem. What it has needed and what the port is delivering is the infrastructure necessary to compete at the highest levels. The channel deepening, the modernization of our docks, the roadway improvements, the development opportunities east of the harbor, these are not isolated projects. They are part of a deliberate, long-term strategy designed to strengthen the competitive position of this port and elevate the economic future of our region. Before I close, I want to leave you with one number that puts all of this into perspective. According to a Texas Ports Association economic impact report, every dollar invested in Texas ports generates about $54 in economic activity for the state of Texas. That is a remarkable return on investment and a powerful reminder that the port infrastructure is not simply an expense, it is an economic catalyst. The infrastructure we are building today will support the careers, the industries, and the opportunities of tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. The jobs being created today and those that will emerge in the years ahead will require skilled workforce prepared to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving economy. That is why workforce development remains a critical priority for the port and our partners throughout the region. But our commitment extends beyond workforce development. The Port of Brownsville remains deeply invested in the success of our community, supporting initiatives that strengthen education, improve quality of life, and create opportunities for future generations. We recognize that a strong port and a strong community go hand in hand. Please join me in welcoming Commissioner Luis Villarreal, who will share the port's efforts to strengthen our workforce pipeline, expand educational opportunities, and support initiatives that contribute to the long-term prosperity of our region.
I'll be a little bit short. I know there's a FIFA soccer game today for Mexico, so I'm sure we all want to go out there. So I'm Luis Villarreal, your newly elected Port Commissioner. Partnerships are very important for us at the Port. Without our community, we wouldn't be here today. Your initial investment while creating this port is what made us here today. As we move forward, as we start, we need to remember our forefathers, like the shrimping industry, that without them, today the port wouldn't exist. The port was originally created to ensure that our fishermen had somewhere to offload their goods, export them out. As we go out, we know our community has supported the port for many years. And over those years, we have reduced our tax rate. We are actually one of the lowest taxed entities in Cameron County. One of our initiatives that we want to do at the port is ensure that we reduce the burden on our constituents who have been helping us grow. As you can see a chart here, this is what we collect in property taxes every year, $4.5 million, of which our residents pay 62%. As we move forward and looking with our local partners, like Senator Adam Hinojosa's office, we want to work with the legislature to allow us to exempt by category. That would allow us to exempt homes from the taxes. We talk about all these millions of dollars that come into the port year over and over again, but our community is still subsidizing us. And I believe it's a good cause, but I think we're at the point where we could take this burden off our taxpayers and move forward. But to move forward, we need to make sure we have qualified staff and workers. To do this, we have extensive relationships with the local community partners, like TSC, STC, A&M. As you can see here, A&M is building one of the largest maritime facilities here, and they'll be educating our community, ensuring that our local workforce is trained and able to work in these industries. And with that, we need to ensure that our students have access to this education by providing them with internship and education outreach. The way we do this is through scholarships. The Port has been giving out scholarships for quite a while, actually since 2020, right? And we awarded about $224,000 in scholarships, supported 224 students. Would those students please stand up, the recipients of this year? These students are the professionals of tomorrow. As you see them here today, they're going to go on their course, go to college, go to a technical trade school, and one day even be a port commissioner or run one of the companies inside our port. So wish you luck, and it's not that far. So work hard and do your best, and that's all we could ask for. Thank you all. And to end this, the port belongs to our community. Like I said, you guys paid for it. We're here today and you elect us. And our work here as commissioner is not only to ensure industry grows, but our community is protected and respected. With that, I want to end and thank you all for coming, and let's go watch the game. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Commissioner. And yes, we'll rush it up. At this time, if I could, I would like to invite all the scholarship recipients to join us on stage for a commemorative photo with our board commissioners.
You do another row, right? Congratulations. I guess just finish it. That's okay. Ponte acá tú. Justo más alto. Está bien.
Thank you, graduates, and congratulations once again. As we conclude our event, I would like to invite everyone to join us this October as we celebrate the Port's 90th anniversary with a special community celebration. Additional details will be announced soon, so hopefully you can join us. We look forward to celebrating with you all. Thank you for your attendance, your continued support of the Port of Brownsville. Have a wonderful afternoon.